everybody. Hi, everybody. I'm a couple minutes late, so I'm going to try to spread the word that I'm here. I'll be back in just a second to get started. So, oh heavens. Okay. Let's see. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get everything set up where I'm ready to go. There we go. I think that works. Okay. Oh, it's just spinning and spinning. Okay, Linda and Lisa, hi. Hi, everybody. Um, oh, I've got another light to turn on. That's what's going on. That's why it's so dark. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. Okay. Well, guys, I don't know. I guess it's going to be a little dark in here today. One of my big lights is not working, so I hope you can see okay. I'm sorry, Linda. I was trying to set the trying to share that I was going to be on. I'm sorry I'm late. We were having a little discussion in the other room, so I wasn't quite ready. I'm gonna play this morning, or this afternoon, I guess it is. I don't know why. It for some reason has decided not to work. I'm gonna do the Mary Altier, Mary Dale Abrams. She's doing that number 5 challenge where she's doing faces. And I didn't have a big magazine, and day before yesterday this magazine came, this catalog came, so I'm going to use it. Thanks, Lisa. So I'm going to do a faces journal type page like Mary's been doing, and I did manage to get one set of pages ready, and I've got sticky tape on me. I didn't realize just how thin the paper in this catalog is, but it should get thicker as I work in it. So I managed to get one set of pages sort of painted. I didn't realize how thin this gesso is. This is gesso from, well, originally got it from Hobby Lobby, and I've already got 3 layers of gesso on there, so, and you can sort of see through it still. But that's all right. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to just play with some faces and see what happens. So I was going to try to get together and do either one of Lisa's pick tins or Becky's dirt. What are they? Something dozens. But I just my wherewithal just didn't happen. It's been an odd week. Anyway, so I'm going to attempt, I'm telling you, to do a face. So, or 2. And I'm just going to use whatever colors I happen to have. Lisa, I used the top layer was white paint. So I figured I may get, down the road, I may be able to get a better cover on some of the other pages, but I'm going to just use these today. The big thing is that I wasn't real prepared ahead of time, so I sort of dropped the ball getting my act together this morning. I've got a bead showcase tonight, so I'm gonna kind of be, I was kind of trying to get ready for that, so I'm not messing with work. And so, and these pages are really thin once you get to playing with them. So, it's like Mary says, it is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be about fun. So I'm just gonna have fun with it. Hi Mary, I'm doing your faces, or I'm attempting to do a face. We'll see how it goes. This person has very large ears. I'll cover it up with some hair. How's that sound? Yeah, I'll tell you, the white paint did better than anything. I probably should have just used white paint from the beginning. So, but I don't think we'll see through it too much this time. So it's all good. So, let's see. Did I miss anybody? Linda and Lisa and Mary. Somebody else is here, but whoever it is, hello. Okay, now this person needs some hair. Do you have any brown paint? We have some brown paint. Yes, her face has ears. That's right. Her face has ears. She definitely has ears. I think we'll bring her hair down over her ears just a little bit. Or his. Maybe it's a he. I'm not sure yet. I think they need. The forehead's very high up here. I think we need a little more paint. Spray gesso, Linda? I've never heard of it. I usually only use gesso on anything that's slippery, but that's, to cover up like cardboard or something like that. So what has everybody been doing today? Mary, that's what Lisa just suggested was white craft paint. I had put 2 layers of gesso on it, and then I used a layer of white craft paint, and it's still showing through. So I'm probably going to have to do more paint next time. But I only had 2 pages ready, so we're just going to go with it. Oh, I need something to wipe my paintbrush off on. Okay. All right. Now I think we need some. It's a Krylon product. Okay, Lisa. Linda, I'll have to look. I've never seen anything, but it would be nice for if you had a big project that you really needed to accomplish and didn't. I have to tell y'all, I've never painted a face before, Mary. It's called stretching. I'm concentrating. I'm not talking. Total failure, Linda. Why were they total failure? Once you add the other paint layers, it covers up. Yes, that's what I'm thinking, Mary. Is that once I paint it, it'll be fine. Besides, you told me to just go with it and have some fun, so that's what I'm doing. But Linda, why were your okay, why was your shaving cream thing a disaster or whatever you want to call it? Swirl the paint. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm going to tell y'all a story about shaving cream. It's hot here in Florida, and sending your kid out to play in this heat can sometimes be very, very bad. I mean, there's been heat index days when Brandon was tiny, when my son was tiny, you could not send your kid outside. It was just too hot to play outside. It's almost dangerous if they get to playing too hard. So we would play in the house, and my son's an only child, so it was one of those things where the entertainment sometimes had to be found. So I would buy 3 or 4 cans of shaving cream. And oh, Linda, I'm glad the second tip was good. And the 3 or 4 cans of shaving cream, we would squirt out on the kitchen floor. I mean, shaving cream is just soap. So, whatever it is, it's just soap. And he would play in it like snow, like make snow angels and all that kind of stuff. And then when we got done, sometimes we would paint in it. Sometimes we would just clean it up. And he would help me wipe it up, and we would just wipe it up. Oh boy, that's bad. We would wipe it up with towels, and then I would just mop the floor, put him in the tub, mop the floor. because it's just so. And he had a ball with it. We would just have so much fun. I can tell you that this may not be going to be my kind of face. I probably should have started with a pencil. So, my guy has a very large nose too. Oh, Mary, yeah. I think shaving cream painting is a lot of fun. Um, Now, back when Brandon was little, we would do it with food coloring because it's not toxic. It's easy to get out of clothing usually. So, um, not only my poor guy is a little lopsided here. Mary, I'm glad this is really just for fun. Mm, I don't know. Mhm. Let's have fun with it. Well, he's getting a little more definition in there. Yeah, that's for sure. Um, Mary, it's about playing with the paint, isn't it? It's to play with paint. I'm having so much fun the last few days making painty paper. It's just, uh-oh. Let's see here. Uh, Too much dark. Back in college, I did a sculpture. We had to do a human figure in sculpture. I've never worked so hard on anything in my life, and it turned out. I'm still not sure that I think it's a human being, but Linda, I'm not going to have, I've worked and worked and worked on painting papers uh, and it just seems to, that I don't have enough. I mean, I really and truly don't have enough for the swap that I want, that we're doing. So I'm just, I'm just going to keep going and try to do more. But I counted yesterday, and I honestly only have 16 finished. I've been making painty paper for a week and a half, and only have 16 finished. That's pretty odd, but okay. Now here's the thing. This is a guy, so we want a guy mouth, and I'm not sure I can do that because his lips are now way too red. Okay, let's. Okay, we can't make him have a little sweet mouth, and that's what's happening. There we go. He still has kind of a sweet mouth. And his nose and his mouth are now sideways. I'm doing this. Linda, everybody's are good enough. Oh my gosh, that's just horrible to say that. I'm sure they're good enough, Linda. That's just awful to say that. That's just no, they're I'm sure they're wonderful. Oh, he needs a mustache right now. There we go. Linda, please play in the swap. Oh, that's it. He's thinking hard. Thank you, Mary. Linda, I don't care if you're just started learning. I hadn't touched my journal, my jelly plate until a week, 2 weeks ago, maybe. Oh, yes, Linda, I'm sure they measure up. Just stop that. Yeah, just stop that. Um, Sideways nose and mouth. He's thinking hard. You know, Lisa, I thought about that, but I'm just having so much fun making the paper that I'm gonna just say I'm happy making the paper. So okay, he needs some better eyes. I haven't had a small brush in my hand in a long time, so let's see. Probably needs some blue eyes. Okay, now since his nose and his mouth are kind of crooked, we're going to make him look at this other page. So, Mary, I think Mary and Linda both, I think we're all learning. And Linda, please, I agree. Read Lisa's message, Linda. Join the swap. I want some of your papers in my painty paper journal. Oh, he's got big eyes. Okay, since we're talking about painty papers, I'm going to get something I was going to show you later. He can just sit there for a minute. I'm honestly going to keep these for myself, guys, because I want to show you something. You see these two? Well, let me move them over in the frame here. There we go. They kind of look unfinished. Yes, Mary, I thought they would look good. But they are my favorite two pieces I have done so far. I'm going to leave them this way because I'm going to keep them for myself, I've decided, because I think they are probably the prettiest pieces that I have done. I thought about doing some more stuff on this one in this area, and I thought about putting some marks on this one, but I'm just happy with them the way they are. I just love them. Don't you think so, Mary? I'm like, yeah, I love this. I just love the way they are. And I was going to show, oh man, he's got really big eyes. Okay, we got to have some more white paint out here. White I haven't contaminated yet. Okay. So, but yes, Linda, you need to make. Okay, good. I'm glad that the pages will be like that because I just loved how those came out. I just was very, very pleased with those. And unfortunately, Becky, we weren't talking about journal spots until later, so not all of my pages are going to have journal spots. Some of mine are going to be just painty on both sides. Okay. This poor guy needs some pupils now, I think. Oh no, I just ruined him. Oh dear. They have to start over there. Yeah. I'm not sure about that. Well. Mm-hmm. I'm going to have to watch Mary paint a lot more faces before mine look like anything. Well, good, Lisa. We're not sending until, in Becky's group, we're not sending until the middle of August, are we? Oh, good. I'm glad you don't. I'm going to try to get Becky's all to have journal spots. Mary, I knew when I did this it was going to have to be about having fun because there is no way oh, that I've ever done, you know. Oh, I guess his eyebrows need to be a little bushy, don't they? Oh, I need more paint. I actually had to go get some paint colors that made people. You guys wouldn't believe, but the stash of my paint colors had no people colors in them. And I know I can make mud, but I didn't know if I could make brown. Oh, good. He has really bushy eyebrows. Yep, he's getting there. Okay. Lisa, that's awesome. I originally was afraid that if you put it in September, I wouldn't get to play, but we are not going to get to take our trip. So, it will be fine. I could have played in the journal swap too. Now that I know we're not going to go anywhere, but I didn't know at the time. So, but yeah, because Lisa, I told Mitz, I don't know if that's her actual name. Um, it's Mitz something on when she's on YouTube as Mitz something, and I oh, that's way too dark. And I promised I'd play in both groups. It had vampire. Oh, Mary, yeah, we got to go and meet up with a friend from college. He's moving back down here. He closed on a condominium of sorts. Um, so we got to go meet up with him for dinner, and I got here late, so I didn't. And I haven't honestly watched everything yet. Too much paint. Let's see what you. Oh, for September. Yeah, Mitz Z. She was, I think, in your live, Lisa, and I promised that I would play in both groups. So I'm kind of glad that that even though it's going to be September, that we're not going to be go on somewhere. My plan was um, to accomplish enough paper to play in both groups, and now I have a little more time, is what I'm saying. Like, oh, that's awful. Should have left well enough alone here. He needs a chin, is my problem. There, let's see here. He should have, let's get him a really light colored chin. Maybe that will work. No, he doesn't have a chin. That's my brush. I keep getting too much paint on my brush. Oh, Mary, I'll have to watch that. Yesterday was a mom day. I take my mom a couple of times a month to, it's an hour or so away. It's the place, well, actually, I used to work there. It's the sewing store where she got her last sewing machine, and they have embroidery club. And yesterday was what they call tool time, and it was supposed to be a couple of hours, and it was 5 hours long by the time we got home, and I got everybody fed, which I really didn't have to do much because I had pre-planned that. But and Jeffrey put the rice on to cook. But at the same time, by the time I got all that done, I was so tired. All I did was go to bed. So Will, he's not looking too bad. He has a funny nose. Um, I want to go back, Mary, and check and see every. I wonder if there's a way to hashtag something where it'll pop up for. I think maybe he needs a shirt here. I'll do something. Actually, that should be darker under his chin, shouldn't it? That's what's wrong. I need dark, and that's way too dark. Um, Mary, we should hashtag it some way um, so that when you type into the search engine, they all come up. And that way we could use the same hashtag. Lisa, I already have a plan for this other page, and you guys are. It's more what I would have done, and if I was going to do a face, I'll show you. Well, I'm going to do two faces because I'm going to do that one too, so we'll know who he's looking at. Um, I'm wondering if I should leave him alone because he's actually looking pretty decent. But Mary, think about that. Okay, Lisa, that would work. But Mary, you should announce it or go back and and announce it on your thing so that we can all use the same thing? Yes, Mary, mom days are good. I'm lucky that I have a mom day. She wasn't doing very well yesterday. She was really shaky. We ended up having to take her home. She doesn't drive after dark, but it was well before dark when we got home. And I just didn't want her driving. She was shaky yesterday. Yeah, noses are kind of a challenge. His doesn't look too bad. I'm thinking his lips aren't all that great, but his ears are pretty good. Yes, I'm very lucky. I have my mama. We actually moved back here to watch over my mom and Jeff's dad. We lost Jeff's mom a long time ago, but and mom's ready to move, and we're looking at that, getting her moving her to assisted living kind of thing. So I think Mary Challenge 5 would probably be better because that way we know it's a Mary hashtag. Okay, Fun Faces is already taken. Okay. Do the other one and come back. Okay, Lisa, that sounds like a deal because that way too he's dry and I can look at him better. But I think I'll put his shirt on before I do that. So, okay. I think I'll give him a shirt, and that way his shirt will be dry, and I can put some little stuff into it. Oops. Well, we got enough of that. Please clothe him. Oh, you don't want a naked guy? All right. Let's see. Got some shoulder. Let me see. Your shoulders are bigger than your head, so we need to have his shoulders come out there. Uh-huh. And then my shirt can come down like that. Oh, and Mary, I did go ahead. Mary, I don't know if you were here. I'm using I think it's a Coldwater Creek catalog because I didn't have a good magazine. And this came in the mail yesterday. So I figured if it came in the mail, it was just perfect timing. And I only got the 2-page spread painted, but I put washi down in the center because I can tell you right now these pages are thin. So there. I can even call him done. I'm actually kind of happy with him. He's funny looking, but he's pretty good. Okay, Mary's challenge 5 faces. Oh, you can register them, Mary? Okay, that's a cool thing to learn. I will hashtag this later when I come back to it. So, okay. So, first I have to tell you a story, and I'm if I can find a picture, I'll post it in the Facebook groups. I make these beads, and we call them, because I have to be careful of copyright stuff, We call them modern art face beads because that's what they make me think of. They make me think of modern art faces. So, let's see. Let's see, I need a big old brush. And when I do them, they are not round. They are more rectangular. Oh, I'm going to have to have some more of that. Come on now. All my jelly printing fancy papers is making me run out of my bright colored paints. So this is going to be, oh, that's way too dark, I think. A face like one of my beads. Yeah, Mary. The problem with this particular catalog is the pages are pretty lightweight, and I know those country magazines like you used, and they are very nice. They have a nice weight to them. This will be all right. It's what I have, so it'll be all right. I grabbed up here in Pensacola. We have something called Bella magazine, which is just like they they advertise the modern music type scene, that kind of stuff. This particular one happened to be the wedding issue, and I just grabbed one the other day, but it's bound, it's glued, so I decided against using it for this. Okay. All right. I might should have dried that before I started, but we'll see. Yeah, I think he came out pretty good. I still think I want to work on his eyes a little, but that, I'll get it. So, all right. Yeah, am I going to get that black out of there? Yeah, not quite. Boy, there's a lot of paint in there. Okay. Well, heck, doesn't want to go down thick. I might have to come back and put it on the second time. I think the painty paper thing is kind of in my nature now. Look, I'm already making painty paper over here. Lisa, what are you fussy cutting? And excuse me a second, I have to get a drink. Linda, are you still here? Okay, we need some nice bright red. Oh, I got some. Let's see if that's enough. I don't think so. Magazine images? I need to sit and do that. Okay. When I do these internet bead showcase things, I am on the computer for 2 solid days. So I will probably be doing some stuff like that while I sit and handle my bead show. Lisa, Jeff has a habit of watching TV while I'm on the computer, so and I should go sit in there with him, but he likes to watch TV in the dark, and I find it difficult to do stuff in the dark, so I think we'll give her a beauty spot over here. His girlfriend is a little odd here today. Okay. I need to get back to my journal I was working in too. Oh, Linda, you are such a good. Okay, I don't care if you chill. I have to tell y'all that you know how. Having a lamp by my chair. Lisa, I have a lamp right beside the chair, and he doesn't mind if I turn it on. But I have cataracts growing. They're small, but for some reason, being in the dark, anything is really dark to me. So I'm having. Oh man, Linda, you're really planning on playing. And I have to tell you, Jeffrey is cooking again. He cooked, I think, 2 Sundays ago. I don't remember when he was cooking last, because I think last Sunday was when I had a little meltdown. But he's cooking dinner, and not only that, he vacuumed today and cleaned the bathroom. So I'm really well set for several days of housework. I won't have to do a lot. Linda, he's always done that. Um, he, when he worked and I wasn't working, uh, I did more of it. But since I've worked a lot as well, he's always helped. We have a kid who was allergic to food, so there was not the. It was hard for him to cook back then. So I did all the cooking when Brandon was little. Um, Brandon has food allergies to virtually everything you think is good for you, and I really don't like that. Let's see what I can do. Um, oh, I messed it up. Good. I hope white paint covers it up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, Linda, Jeffrey's the clean one. Uh, I'm not. I am. I am totally not kidding. Jeff is the one that's neat. Now he can never find where he puts stuff, but he puts it away. He puts it out of sight. He's always said that he's going to build a house with A-frame tables, though, because that way my messes will all slide to the floor, and if it's on the floor, it's fair game for going to the dumpster. But now I just try to keep my stuff confined to my studio. Now it's not really, but as much as I can, and he's perfectly happy with that. I'm gonna have to paint those over again because I don't. Okay, we need to put a. She needs to have hair. Well, see, and Linda, in all honesty, I still work. I do work for myself, and my work is art. I make glass beads, but it pays some bills that was paying for the camper is what it was. So uh, he has worked very hard to get us this house sorted out and all that kind of stuff. But um, he does know that I am still working, so he steps up. If I cook, he usually cleans up. I mean, we try to share, and he's retired, so technically, I've never seen the man work so hard, but I don't know. I might like him better than her. I haven't seen Janet pop in. She hasn't. Linda, that's mine too. And he uses headphones so that I don't have to listen to him. He watches old westerns and all kinds of stuff like that. So now then. Let me see if I can fix her eyes since I messed them all up. My son learned to sew when he was 2.5. He can run my sewing machine just as fast as I can. He cleans pretty well. He, however, does not cook. And I'm just going to have to leave that be until it dries. Her eyes are all messed up. Okay. I think I'm going to go back and work on his shirt a little bit while she dries up. I want to put a little definition on his shirt. Yeah, Lisa. He wears the headphones for movies, and I a lot of times if I'm watching videos, I try to wear headphones so that he doesn't have to listen to them. But uh, Jeff also has trouble hearing, so if he wants to, and his ears get tired, hearing aids can make your ears tired, and so sometimes he will um, wear the headphones because that way he hears better what's going on. So well, pick one or the other, Tanya. There we go. Okay, Mary. Okay, there's no I, Mary. So it's MER challenge. You like this face, Mary, the guy. I like him too. I think his eyes need some work, but okay. Okay, so there is an I. MERI challenge 5 faces. Mark. I didn't say, oh, there you are, Mark. Hi. Hi. I'm playing with Mary from the Mary LTA. If you're not familiar, I'm playing with her faces challenge. I'm using a catalog that I got in the mail, and I gessoed and painted the pages. And I did this guy and this gal, and I'm not happy with the gal, but you know, she's kind of different. Um, so I was gonna go back and try to work in his eyes just a little bit. I think as much as anything, they need skin or lids around them, and he doesn't have any eyelids right now. Is the problem? But I'm not unhappy. I think it's actually he's got a very dark nose, but that's okay. Oh, we need some more of that skin color. Thanks, Mary. I'll fix her eyes when they dry. I'm not happy that her eyes got messed up, but oh well. I should have waited until they were dry in the first place. Okay. I just looked up. We're getting some thunder, and I looked up, and the window's right beside me. I was like, what the heck? It's snowing. Apparently, the wind has picked up and it was blowing. We have crepe myrtle trees out front, and the leaves are pale yellow, and it just blew like half the leaves off the tree, I swear. And it was like it was snowing all of a sudden. I'm like, okay, I'm not in South Dakota anymore. I really don't want to see that stuff. Oh, that's what it is. He doesn't have any eyelashes. Oh, okay. Maybe that will help. Okay. Mary, that's kind of when I made the series of beads that those were off after. That's kind of what I had been looking at when I was making them. So, and I couldn't call them Picasso beads, so I had to call them modern art faces. Trouble typing in a small keyboard makes lots of typos. Oh, are you on your phone, Mary? Thanks, Mark. I'm liking them. Um, I may do this where I do like one that's more human and one that's kind of modern art kind of thing. Oh, that's way too thick. Okay. Okay, why is it doing that? Oh, let's get rid of the. Let's, there we go. Maybe. I don't think so. maybe should have just called well enough, called it well enough, put it, stopped while it was left well enough alone. That's what I'm trying to say. He's got some bushy eyebrows. And now then, let's see. Let's try that again. Oh, on your phone? Yeah. And I have a big phone. I have a Note. It's an old Note, but I have a Note, so you would think it would be easy because it's almost the size of a tablet, but it's hard to see the comments, and it's definitely hard to type. I think when I do this, that's the end of him. I'm done. I'm going to leave him alone before I make him worse. Okay. Let's, boy, it's going to give us a lovely little storm here in a minute. Let's see if we can just dry this up. There we go. Mary, if it wasn't fun, I wouldn't do it. I'm too old for that. Of course, I shouldn't say that because there's other things in life that aren't so fun, but 8T is missing potatoes. T is missing potatoes. Mark, I don't understand. Okay, Lisa, go put the chicken in the oven. Yeah, it's going to take a bit to fix that. I may have torn it right through the other side. Okay, we're going to leave her alone for now. I will paint her eyes in white and put a little color in them later. Laughter is the world's second best medicine. Art is the first one. There you go. I agree with that, Mark. But I don't understand what the potatoes are. Did I miss something? Let me scroll back and chat. Okay, Mark. I missed something somewhere. But I do think you're right. Art is absolutely fantastic medicine, and so is laughter. And I like him. I think he came out pretty good. I'll put those up there so I can use them later. Mary always signs hers, so let's see if I can find something that will write on here. That may be a little bit fat. Let's just use this. Okay, today is the 7/29/2018. So, maybe next Sunday, Mark, I'll make their children. That would be cool. That'd be fun. But this is just a Coldwater Creek catalog because I thought Mary's idea was fabulous, just to use a magazine to play in. This one happens to be a little squarer than hers, but that worked out okay. I like that she doesn't have any neck. So, and Mary, when I get on later and the hi Mitz, I just finished doing Mary's challenge, and we were just discussing it. If you're playing with Mary's face challenge, Mary just went and got a special hashtag so that we can tag all of our videos with that hashtag, and that way they'll come up on YouTube. She went and actually registered the hashtag, and if you scroll back in chat, she's posted it, but she's going to post it on her video too. December daily. I haven't figured out all of those things, all of those challenges yet. I'll have to see what I might be gonna do. Now that we're not going off this fall, we were supposed to be gone for 3 months, so we're not going to get to do that. So we'll have to see. I have got a bunch of paint on my palette that I want to get off there and put up. Painting paper almost finished. So I'm going to just credit card it onto some paper. Uh-oh. I'll be right back, guys. I forgot to put my sheets on my stuff on the floor. I have a very sweet, loving, generous husband who does so much for me. But if I were to get paint on the hardwood floors that he sweated over for months, I think he might just disown me. So what I do is I put big sheets of freezer paper on the floor, and that way I can lay my papers down there and not get any paint. Mark, I really think that maybe I should do their family. I'll have to see if I can paint a children. That might be fun. Alrighty. Potatoes is something. Okay. Potatoes is something you say. Then I can figure it out. Mary, the only thing I can say is that catalog has very, very thin pages. They are real thin. If the magazine I picked up hadn't been just glued together, I would have used it instead because the pages are much nicer. Well, I will put that on my agenda, Mark. Probably next Sunday. So, okay. So, the next thing I wanted to do, where's what I had? Okay, a few weeks ago, I painted these envelopes in my live stream, and I painted extra the next day, and I made up some traveler's notebook inserts because I use those for for different things. And I need a couple more covers. So when the first day I jelly printed ever, this is one of the jelly prints that I managed to make. So I'm going to do a little more mark making on it, and then oh my gosh, my brain just went. I'm going to do a little more mark making on it, and then I am going to use it to make some covers when it gets dry. Thanks, Mitz. I like it, but I think it needs a little bit more. It doesn't need much, but I want to do a little bit to it. And if I can find, I've made such a mess. I mean, I really have made a mess. It's, there we go. It's a serious, serious problem I seem to have. So I thought, let's see what I want to do. This is, it actually was a vegetable tray, but it's the same styrofoam that you get for a meat tray. Okay, Mark, potatoes and cheese would be good. And I drew in it with a pen, is what I did. I just took an ink pen and I drew in it, just like so. Oops, that one is crooked now. And what it does is it picks up, maybe I'll just use that one. Since you just watched me do that, maybe we'll see what it does. But I think I really want this one. So yeah, I know what I'll do. Sorry. Have to think here. We'll print this just so you can see what it does. But where you draw the lines in it, we have some paint that shows. It doesn't print. It prints the surface, not the line. So, guys, I said hi to Miss. Said hi to Mark. I hope I haven't missed anybody. If I have, holler again so that I see that you're there. I need a sponge. So, needless to say, I don't clean my sponges. I am very bad. I just use them and I'm just dabbing some paint on here. And then I can print it. And it's not even fun foam. It's that foam that meat comes on, but I don't like the meat ones, so I use the vegetable ones. For some reason here they package broccoli on it. I don't know why. But I'm going to use this one today. And see what it does. So and it sometimes takes a little bit to get it juicy enough to print. Shall I say juicy enough? Yeah, that's kind of the way it works. Juicy. Okay. Now you couldn't see that because it was on white, but there. Back for a few until I need to make salad. You're so good to your husband, Lisa. Jeff's cooking again tonight. Now, he only cooks about once a week, but if I let him cook all the time, we would eat pizza and sandwiches from Subway and stuff like that. So I do have to cook in between. But I made red beans and rice yesterday, so that was a good thing. Guys, I'm sorry, but I kind of need to check that. I'll be right back. Let's see here. Okay, it's all right. It'll do. I only cook once a day, Jeff. If I make Lisa, I make meals that usually make leftovers, and I try to make a lot of things I can put in the freezer for my mom because she's finding it very hard to cook balanced meals for herself, and she's diabetic. So I cook things like yesterday red beans and rice, spaghetti, and at least once a week, sometimes more often than that, because I can freeze some of those meals. And she then she's got dinners and things. She goes to the senior center during the week, during the day. At least she has been. There's a problem with that. She may be going to lose her senior center. They're talking about closing it. But then I've cooked meals for her too. Hi, Joan. I think it's the first time you've been to one of my lives, isn't it? Anyway, so that way, and then Jeff eats my leftovers for lunch and things like that. So I only usually cook once a day too. He's good on his own for breakfast. Always has been. If he hadn't been, he wouldn't have gotten food because I don't cook for breakfast very often. Thanks, Lisa. I'm liking it too. Then when it dries, I'll put a layer of Mod Podge. Lord, I keep saying that wrong. Mod Podge over it so that it's got a smooth texture and it stays clean. Seeing how I'm using it for those covers. I just thought the background was really pretty, but I thought it lacked something is the thing. I just really thought it was missing some little thing. So I thought I would finish it up. To use. And it's kind of like I can cut it up to use for cards or postcards or I used the last pieces in my little artist trading coin book. Yeah, at least I'm very happy with the little white flower. I think that is just it just is. Yep, I'm very pleased. That I think that's going to be the end of it once I finish with the little white flowers. And I'm kind of liking the first print and then the ghost print. That was another thing I liked. I'm liking about it. So for a piece of styrofoam tray from the grocery store, Thanks, Lisa. Yes. Oh, thanks, Joan. That one is a little smeary. Have to be more careful. Um, I played with Mary Fun Faces earlier. Made a couple in her fun face challenge number 5, and Mary has gone and gotten a hashtag, so we're going to start using that. If you've seen her, if you haven't seen her channel, you'll want to check it out. Lisa, you've been doing the faces too, haven't you? I'm sure you have. My brain is total mush today, I guess, because now I can't remember. Uh, Joan, I used to teach specialty sewing classes, and I have always thought designing fabric would be a lot of fun. And yes, I think it would be really pretty to have fabric like this. And they digital print fabric now, so you can have so many colors that you couldn't used to have. As a matter of fact, when we were over to Mom's yesterday, one of the things that when I took Mom to Margie's yesterday, which is the store we went to, one of the things that Margie was showing off was these new digital print panels. And some of them are just beautiful paintings. They're just sort of almost beyond words how pretty they are. I think this corner needs, let's see if there's enough paint. Okay, Lisa, I thought you had done a face. Yeah, yes, because you did the back of her head. So, yeah, I knew I had watched you do a face. I'm just... Okay. Let's pick up some of this other paint. Now, that's just white, so... I'm going to set this aside and let it dry for right now. I don't want to get that all icky, so we'll just do that. Okay, so let's see the next one. Aha! Oh, come on. Joan, I keep looking at it, and now I can see a pair of a pretty skirt too. Okay, so again, this one is even less done, I think, than the other one. And I'm just trying to think what I want to do to it, but I'm definitely going to do something more to it too. And I may do a couple of layers on this one because I just think it needs something. And again, I need 2 covers for those 2 inserts that I'm doing. I may turn some of these into artist trading coins too. I know down the road Becky is going to have a artist trading coin swap. Lisa, are you going to do black? That's what I'm thinking, Becky, or Lisa, that I need to do black on this one. Um, we could do an artist trading coin swap with your group too. And I know Becky's kind of got swaps going right now. I think I want, this is the insert out of a roll of Scotch tape. I go through a lot of Scotch tape, so I have a lot of these little things, and they're double. There's 2 circles. And what I'm doing right now is trying to get the big gold glob off, but I think what I'll do is just use the back side. After a while, they get kind of gooey. I think that's what I'm going to do, and Lisa is absolutely right. Black is what I need. So, yes, we can, but I don't want to do more than 1 per month. How about doing that in October? Lisa, that sounds like a deal. Like I said, originally didn't think I was going to get to be here, so sounds like a deal to me. Janet has apparently been saving these cool little things out of her paint, and I usually just leave them sit there on the paint, but dang, they are cool. I'm going to set it aside. Let's see, what can I put it in? I'll put it in there. Let it get really good and dry. And see what we can do with it. Yeah, at least if we do more than 1 a month, it will be hard to keep up with because we have other things to do too. So I think I should have started. Okay, that was a duh. You should not start on paint on the bottom. You also should start at the top where you don't end up putting your arm in it. And I think, Lisa, what I'm going to do, I like the black, but I think then afterwards I may go in with my white gel pen and do some white gel pen stuff. Okay, I didn't get out enough black paint. Linda, I have to shorten all Jeff's pants. I was going to say that in the past, Jeff's been known to do his own buttons, but most of the time I do that kind of stuff for mine too. But I think after I get this black on here, that when it gets good and dry, I'm going to go in and do some white little tiny dots somehow. Oh yeah, Lisa, I agree with that. If I stop, I don't like not doing something. I've never been a good TV watcher really. And when we moved here, we made the decision not to get much in the way of TV. We have cable only because it is we had to have the cable come in to get the internet. So we have cable but the TV part service of it is very, very minimal. It is free TV. I told him I refuse to pay for TV. However, we have Netflix so that he can watch movies. Okay. I think that will do with that. Nope. I see a spot. Okay. Okay. So. Okay, I gotta get the paint off my hands. Apparently the neighbor thinks it's dry enough out there to mow. Either that or he's trying to get it done before it just totally dumps on us. But baby wipe is pretty dry coming out of that box. Okay, I want to use up my paint again. Now, let me see. Yeah, I think so. Let's put it in here. Just put it, this is my glue book. Uh-oh, stuck together. My desk journal, glue book, whatever you want to call it. My wipe off book. Here's a couple of pages that don't have anything. So we're just gonna, and all I really have out is black and white. So, that's kind of cool though. Let's just not rub it so much. Okay. Ooh. Dang, I'm liking that. If that dries, we might paint over that later. Depends on what time it is. Okay. No cable or TV. Yeah, the TV, we just have enough TV to do. So it's basically free. But Lisa, I don't know if you can hear me, but we'll see you when you get back. Okay. It is getting warm in here. See how much gook I got in this. Okay, because I got gook in there, I have to go wash it out. Guys, I'll be right back. I'm sorry. I'm going to go turn the air conditioner down a little bit, and I'll be back. I should have gotten more water before I came to the table. Sorry, guys. I'm back. I didn't want to put that yucky paint stuff into my Mod Podge, so did I miss anything? I don't think so. Okay. Joan, what are you working on today? Mark, what are you working on today while you're watching? Uh-oh. That's all right. Okay, what I'm going to do now, I decided, was, oh dear, to work on some tags a little bit. Making cards. Mary's making cards. Oh, some more of the ones from the, is it Dirty Dozen from the other night, Mary? Okay, can't find my book pages. How can that be? There it is. Okay. All right. Knocking things over. Painting some magazine pages so I can make faces. Yay, Joan! Joan, were you here since? Did you see that Mary has made a hashtag, a special hashtag for when we do those, so that we can all find them? This is a book I'm going to alter. I'm going to start working on it. So I'm just going to pull some pages out of it. It is the oddest thing. Look at this book, guys. I've never seen one do that before. Look at how these pages are different colors within the book. That's kind of odd. That's not normal. Normally a book ages all the same way, and that's just, it's like different signatures are different colors. Very strange. Very, very, very strange. Anyways, I'm going to see if I can find this rough center of the signature and pull some pages out of it to use. And I'm not worrying terribly, but I am going to pull, I'm going to try to tear out of the center. It's, okay. Thanks, Mary, for Joan. Joan, you can use a hashtag. Mary just registered the hashtag with YouTube, which I didn't know you could do, which is a new thing for me. But you can use it in YouTube in your description of your YouTube videos. You can use it on Facebook if you're going to post them on Facebook, and you can use them on Twitter. Now, because I don't do very well on Instagram, I think you also use hashtags on Instagram. So, any place that'll let you use that hashtag is really cool, because that way everybody can find what they're doing. Now, I think most of you know that I buy a giant container of Mod Podge and that I water mine down a little bit. And that's just my way of doing it. I find that it's a little thick for what I want to do with it. So I just water them down a little bit. And these pages are going to be just a little big. So, yeah, Joan, Mary actually went and registered it on YouTube so that we could do it on YouTube. And like when I do the description for today's live, I'll make sure to put that in the description. And that way we can all find each other's faces. So, which I think will be really cool. And Mary, you taught me something today which I didn't know, and I really appreciate that. And all I'm doing, okay, these were, I should have told you what they were. I don't know if I don't have one that's not got paint on it. I think you can see with tubes, which was okay, which is a Twitter site. This is the lid from the raspberry tea box. I go through a couple of boxes of this tea. We drink cold tea, okay, but I put that in with the other stuff with the regular tea. When I make sun tea pretty much every day. I make a gallon of tea, so I go through a lot of that raspberry tea because I put some in our tea. It's got vitamins and stuff in it. It's not a necessity, but it's one of those things we like, so that's what I do. Anyways, I painted those box top things just because I did not want it to be so noticeable that it was, I just put like one coat of white paint on it, and I am just gluing it to these book pages for now. And I'm going to make some tags. Hashtag.org. Okay, Mary. Twibs and hashtag.org. Okay. See, I knew, I know people use hashtags and everything, but I didn't know how to register, that you could register it so that other people didn't use it and so that you were finding what you wanted. So that is really cool. I'm learning. It's just like learning to make videos and all that other stuff. I'm learning. Now I may, when these are totally dry and I'm done with them, I may go back and what do you call that? Stitch around them with the sewing machine. I haven't made that decision yet. I haven't got that far. We've been a little busy this week, and like I said, yesterday was a mom day, and it went way longer than was planned. So, and like I said, I didn't want her to drive home. I was a little worried about her yesterday. She was a little shaky. She's not normally that shaky, and she was way too tired. So Jeff and I took her home, and that meant, him driving over there, which then meant that since we were both in town and since we were both right there, we went and checked on his dad, which That, you know, we just try to, they live real close to one another, so that's always a good thing. So that they're right there together. Okay, come on now. There we go. Come on. Don't misbehave. Now, if one of you sees me throw these pieces of page paper away, rather than save them for my glue book, realize that I have 500 books now to take pages out of. So I'm going to throw these pieces away because they're all sticky and I don't want to fight with them. It's not like it, yeah. You own the hashtag, but others can use it. It's not illegal ownership the way well, yeah, Mary, because copyrights are, yeah, that would take a lot more to get a copyright. But not only that, if you register it, Mary, then other people are not as likely to use it, and therefore your project and their project are not so going to overlap so much that it's, you know, that you, so that their project comes up. If they were using the same hashtag, then their project would come up in yours, and your project would come up in theirs, and that's not what anybody really wants. They want their own. So okay, these are napkins, and I already peeled the back off of this one. I'm sure everybody here has already knows about napkins. I'm looking for one that hasn't been peeled. But when you have a napkin, it's got more than one layer, and sometimes there's two and sometimes there's three. And there's lots of ways to peel them apart, but one of the ways is to put your lips on it and pull it apart with your lips. Another way is to take a piece of Scotch tape to the back of it. But you got to get it started, and once you get it started, you pull it off like so. And you just peel it apart. And you don't want to get rid of this piece because there are things that you want to use that for later. So don't throw them away. It's not, you want to hold on to it. And if it gives you trouble in the middle, just go out to the corner and peel it off. The cheaper the napkin, the fewer layers usually. Like this one's only got 2 layers, and it's for some reason it's pretty well stuck in the middle, so I'm just kind of peeling around the edge. But you only want the one layer to collage with because then it lets everything else show down. So let's check to make sure a hashtag has not been registered. Yeah, Mary, that way your project is, and I didn't even know that you could do that. See, so that's awesome. Anyway, so I have this single layer now, and I'm just tearing out a piece of it that I want to use on this tag. And I'm just kind of chunking it out here. Oh dear, too much. Here we go. All right. And now I'm just going to Mod Podge it down. Joan, is your channel the same as your name? Okay, now one thing is that if you don't like, oh, I got it. I got stuff down there. If you don't like wrinkles, make sure you put it down perfect the first time. I like wrinkles, so they make me happy, so I'm not unhappy with it. But there's a little wrinkly in there. And then I just Mod Podge it really good. And set it aside to finish later, another time, because I like to let things dry. I don't like the heat gun. But you see how when you do just one layer, you get the book page right through it. So that's one to work on after a while. Okay. But if you do a video on Facebook too, you can hashtag it with the same hashtag, and then we can find it. And for this book, I'm going to leave these tags, just this craft color on the back. I want to kind of make it sort of old and vintagey. I'm not going to worry about it, but that's what my plan is. Thanks, Mary, for all the information. I really appreciate it. I was going to ask you, Mary, how's your weather? Is it as hot as it was? My son's in Omaha, and I keep watching, and it seems like it's one day it's just absolutely cooking, and the next day it seems like it's cold. So Mark, did you told me what you were making? I don't remember. You told me what you were doing today, Mark, and I missed it. I've forgotten. I don't know what's going on with my brain, but I can't seem to remember for 2 seconds. It's raining. Well, I wish it was raining in California. I really do. I have friends out there, and it's they're having a rough time. So now I do like this mat. I don't know, Joan, if you're how much of this kind of stuff you do. This is and Mark, this is they call it a splat mat. It's heat resistant and all that kind of thing. But if you don't have that, the next best thing when you're doing gluing and you want to clean it up is freezer paper, upside down freezer paper. Freezer paper has, and I'll show it to you in just a second, has a plastic coating on one side so that if you get glue on it, like I'm doing on this mat, you can just wipe it up just like I'm doing on the mat. So let me show it to you. Oh, I was going to. There it is. This is it, freezer paper. Okay, and like I'm about out, but it is plastic on one side, and if you use it like the paint doesn't stick to it, Mod Podge doesn't stick. It'll stick, but it doesn't. You can peel it off. A couple of my videos I show using it, peeling it off, and it makes for a good, inexpensive mat. So. Joan, Mary, and I both watch Dee Dee Willingham, and she does what she calls Coffee and Art in the Morning, and she has and if you look up Society of Idea Collectors, she does videos. Mary does videos on Society of Idea Collectors, and Dee Dee's idea behind the whole thing is if you don't write it down, you won't remember it. And if you have ideas of any sort, you should write them down. And I have multiple books. One that I started with the Society of Idea Collectors, but I also keep a planner, and I have different things for like my YouTube videos and this and that. So it's important to write it down. And a journal for just that is perfect. So okay, what do we want to do here? I keep little pieces of paper beside my computer and beside the bed and on the kitchen counter and everywhere. I write things down all the time. It's one of those, if I don't write it down, I will not remember it. So. But Mary also does this thing called mind mapping a lot, and she does it, and she does these really fun things with that. It doesn't work for me quite the same way it does for some people, but everybody's different, so we have to find our own little way of doing things. I'm trying not to get too much Mod Podge on the back of my tags right now is the deal. I I was hoping Maggie Lockley would come in today. I have some happy mail from her that I was gonna. I'm kind of. Uh-oh. Now, I told you that napkin was a cheap napkin. Well, my brush just tore the napkin. That's how soft it was. Most of the time, it does not do that. Aha. Okay, Joan. So good. You know where Mary is. That's well, and you're working on you're gonna start faces too, so that'll be cool. Anyways, that it's separated. I don't know if you can see how the napkin's separated right there. Is that gonna work? Yeah. Um, I'll just I'm not done. There's gonna be more layers to this, so I'll just put some ephemera over the top of that layer. Not a big deal. So I think that mind mapping, make sure your mind maps are hard. Mary, I don't find it hard to do it. Um, I just don't use it in the same way. So I use it in a different way, I guess. And because of that, I don't do it as much as I've seen amazing maps that you have done and that Dee Dee has done, and amazing ideas that come out of it. And for some reason, it just doesn't seem to be, be me. And there's lots of ways to mind map too. So, it's that's another thing is that everybody does that a little bit different. So I'm not sure. Oh, this one's already ready. We'll just use it. But writing your ideas down is very, very important, I think. One, if you write it down, then it's on your mind and you think about it more. So as you think about your idea, you can play with it and take it further down the next step. I list a lot of things, Mary. I guess that's another thing. I do a lot of lists, and that seems to work for me. And in some respects, a list is a mind map. It's just a different way to do it. I'm sorry, I'm off camera. I just realized that. Yeah, Mary, I think so. I think it's just, and like I said, I tend to list things instead of, um, so it's you've got to find what works for you. That's true in everything. It's true in it's true in I think just about every walk of life. You have to find what works for you. It's true in art. It's true in life. It's true with all sorts of things. So marriage. So oh, Tanya, don't be so aggressive. I guess I'm being mean to the poor napkins today. Okay. Well, that's enough of that. Now then, I am going to go ahead and put my coat. I'm going to put a coat of Mod Podge on this so that when I want to use it for my covers, it will be already finished. Yeah, that's it, Mary. If you mind map, Dee Dee mind maps, and I make lists. So and I make more lists, and I make more lists, and I make more lists, and then I lose my list, or and I'm like Dee Dee in many respects that I keep paper everywhere, and I write stuff down, and then I put it on the list that it belongs on, and that's how I do mine. I'll get my book in just a minute. They're over on the other table. Because when I first started watching Dee Dee's Society of Idea Collectors, I tried to do all of the sort of prompts that she had with it. And so I got a book specifically for it. And I do go through and do it. I just have switched it up to doing lists instead of maps kind of thing. Okay. There, now when I use that for a cover, it's got a layer of basically plastic over the top of it. So I'll leave that there so it's not boring to look at. Let me put the Mod Podge lid back on, and I'll go get my books. Show you what I'm talking about. I was thinking, right, I was creating mind maps are chicken in the oven, check. Laundry done, check. Check. Oh, Linda, see? Linda makes lists, I'll bet. Joan, we have a local paper store here that supplies paper for printers. And this paper is like let me see. It must be about 14, 15 inches. No, it's 13 inches. It's like 13 inches by 20 inches. And it's not paper. It's actually what they call cover stock. And as far as cardstock goes, it is way heavier than anything that I have that I bought anywhere. But see this dent in it right here? So the paper store has this shelf that they call misfits or seconds or whatever you want to call it. So I got a whole ream of this heavyweight cardstock, and it's a big stack like that. Was it $5? No, this might have been $8 for this giant cardstock. So, I stop in there because you never know what they're going to have, because it's always a little, you never know. I got a whole bunch of cardstock for a couple of dollars a ream because somebody miscut it. They cut it 8 by 11 instead of 8.5 by 11. And so, oops, my other book is gone. 11 cardstock, and it's pretty heavy too. I got for $3 a ream for cardstock, and I mean it's 500 pages in a ream. So it's worth looking in your neighborhoods or in your town to see. Yes, Joan, it's called, they call it cover stock. And I have, the package may have told me what weight it was, but it is heavy, heavy, heavy. And it was damaged. So now, like I said, the other that I have that's small is a little different. It's a lighter weight cardstock. I've got paper this size because it was damaged. I've gotten legal size copy paper for $3 a ream because something happened to the box and 2 or 3 reams were damaged, but they don't sell it by 2 or 3 reams to the printers and stuff like that. And it's always check to see if you can find something that they supply paper to printers. They don't normally sell to the general public, but an artist friend told me about it. So that was, I found it, and they have this great shelf, and I go in whenever I'm by there, check out the shelf, see what they've got. And I'm almost always buying something because it's always nice to have either a little different paper or a little different cardstock. And the price, I can't complain for the price. I did make a mistake first time I went in there. They had great big envelopes, and they were probably 9 by 12 envelopes. They were white envelopes, and the boxes had been damaged, and the envelopes had a little dent in them. Now, the problem for a printer, that little dent doesn't go through their machines. So it just makes it so much easier if the paper's perfect. And they had these, they were like half the size of the paper boxes that you get reams of paper in. So there must have been 1,000 envelopes in them, and they had them for $6. And I didn't buy any because I didn't need them. That teach me to need something. Anyways, I did do some mind mapping in the beginning. And especially like with the colors that, let's see if I can find colors. I put, we had chores that are things that she wanted us to do. And maybe my lists weren't so good back then, but well, I'm not finding. Oh, here's the color tab. Okay, just find the right tab. And she had us mind map all the tabs, all the colors, or a bunch of colors. And I've put down my tabs, and I do go through this book and then write stuff, just put in things, but I have turned it into lists. And I don't use this book as much. And see here, rather than mind map stuff, I tend to write it down in lists. So that works for me. And then I actually, when I got this sort of on its way, and I go through this, like every couple of days, I sit down and I look at every page and I make any notes that I have. But I usually keep most of my stuff in my planner thing because I have my calendar. And if you could, let me show you a month in my calendar. Well, let's see. Let's look at August because it's not quite so screwed up yet. That's August, and I don't have Mom's stuff on there yet, other than one thing. So, so I haven't actually done August, and it looks like that already. And then I break it down by the week, and then I have lists. And this is my first list book. But then I broke it down where I have a whole YouTube book. and I have, this is my Happy Mail book. And so for me, lists work. So, uh-oh, oh dear, troll. And I don't have, um, okay, I don't see it. How do I get rid of a troll, guys? I don't know. Um, oh, Janet's not here. Lisa, let me see if I can, right above my comment. Okay, Linda. Huh, I don't see it, guys. Um, okay. Oh, I know why. I don't have live chat on. And, okay, Lisa, I just tried to make you a moderator. Okay. Thank you, Lisa. If you see it, will you take care of it for me? Okay, right above the troll alert. Ah, okay, I see it now, Lisa. Let me see here. I can. Okay, I think I got rid of it. Linda, did it go away? Linda, did it go away now? Bang, bang, dead. Oh, good, Linda. Thank you, and thank you for alerting me because I didn't realize it didn't have it in live chat. It took it a few minutes to show up. Anyways, yeah, Mary, I like mind mapping, but and if I do it sometimes, um, especially when I'm trying to work through a problem, I like mind mapping, but on an everyday kind of thing, lists are more my speed. So I just write pieces, lots of pieces of paper, and then I write things down. So, okay, I'm going to go back and finish this one up. Okay, Lisa, thank you for reporting him and deleting him. I appreciate it. Yes, Bart, troll hunting. I don't. Why do people do that? I just don't get it. I don't understand people. I just, I really don't. I just don't. It doesn't do them any good. It doesn't, I can't make them happy. Okay, I'm trying to find a regular piece of paper to make sure this pen is working. Okay. I just don't understand why people want to do stuff like that. That just doesn't make sense. So, yeah, Linda. Okay, Mary, I will. I will gladly do that. Okay. Yeah, Janet's not here today. She's been at most of my lives, so she's Of course, the first few I never had a troll. That's really ridiculous. Need me, huh?
No.
Okay.
Coming in for the day.
I would think so. You look a little hot. Did it rain on you, or is that
No.
okay? Did you get your table done?
Yeah.
Okay. That was my husband. He just came in from outside. He was working. He's building a outdoor work table. We had a friend that they had some metal. I don't know what you want to call them. They came from, I think, from satellite. No, not satellite. From the telephone antenna things, the big telephone antennas, and it's something that they don't use anymore. And so he got a bunch of them. They're big metal squares. And then he had some boards from we had this strange decking when we moved in, and he pulled that all out. And yeah, Linda, I mean, if that's, I don't know. I just don't understand people that want to do stuff like that. And thank you for catching it, because I couldn't see it for the longest time. It just didn't show up. And I do know I was in the wrong kind of chat, but and I certainly don't want any bad dings from YouTube, so Mark, where are you? We're going to get some rain here shortly. It's been thundering, but it rains pretty much this time of year. It rains pretty much every day here, so that's nothing new. The near Erie, you guys are getting a lot of rain up there. Then my sister's not too far from there. She's across into New York. But I wish it would rain in Northern California. I really do wish it would do that. I don't think this is quite enough dots. I'm going to have to think about it after I get these on there, because I think it needs a little bit more something something. Yeah, Linda, what he had said is really, it's just like, why say something like that to someone? It's like, get a life. Mark, it's probably because people are going to go home from vacation that you had a busy day today. Oops, I'm off camera probably. I'll get to working on the edge of the table. This is probably boring. Sorry, guys. I love these ink pens, by the way. If you like white dots of any kind, this Uniball Signo pigment pen, I love them. They write on everything. Sometimes it doesn't like to write on paint. Things don't like to write on paint, and this one writes on everything. That's great, Mark. So is this your hotel? And Lisa, you're talking about these pens. I love these pens. I have a gold one, but I don't like it near as much as this white one. Yeah, Linda. I watch. Oh, is it Lori Martin something? Oh, I can't remember her name. Anyways, there's a word that she uses all the time. To me, it's not offensive. It's what she calls the underlayers of her um, collage pieces that she does. And apparently, YouTube dinged her for it. So I don't want to say the word because I don't want to get dinged for it. But um, and I don't know about everybody else, but I have a bad habit of turning my paper all around over and over again. I usually do that when I draw too. So well, that's great, Mark. Um, it's really good when you like your job. Now, I have probably the a job that other people would just absolutely love. When you make beads for a living, and now I don't have to pay all my bills with it, so it's not the same as someone who has to work full time. I know that. I have a husband who takes care of all that stuff. But we do pay bills with what I work with, and it's allowed us to have some things that we wouldn't otherwise have. And I can work in my pajamas because of course I don't because I work with fire. I work with a torch. Um, but there are times when, and recently I've been struggling with it. It gets to be, it's hard to be creative in it in your job. And creativity is one of those things. If I don't have it, then it's hard for me. So now then, I think it still needs a little bit more. What do you guys think? Yeah, it is. I'm thinking something. One of the, Lisa, do you have Posca pens? Oh, heck. I think I'll use paint. Um, because I have these Sharpie pens and I don't like them. Do you like the Posca pens? I've been gonna hunt up one somewhere, to try. Okay. Somebody was doing some tiny, tiny dots, and that's one of the things I was noticing about the Posca pens when I got online is you can get different diameter tips that they come in different sizes is what I guess I should say. Um, so that's one of the things I'd like to try is to get some of those. Yeah, I'll probably just get black and white. What I'm going to do now, because I can't find my white pen, I'm going to use the back end of my paintbrush and white paint and get some bigger dots in here because I think it needs a little bit more something. So by using the paint, it'll take a little while to dry, but that's okay. And the brush just means that it gives me a bigger dot. Now then, what do you guys think? Think that'll be enough if I do those dots? I think I don't want to go too much further with it. It's Yeah, Lisa, that's one of the things I do like about the paintbrush. And the tip of this particular paintbrush is not flat. So when I lift up, it drips sort of off the tip. Let me wipe it off. And I use this paintbrush a lot for this. See, let me see. Can you see that it's kind of rounded on the bottom or almost domed kind of thing. Hi, Linda. There's two Lindas here today. Oh, thank you, Linda. Linda, have you been to one of my lives before? Um, I can't honestly can't remember anything anymore. I like the. I'll show you Linda the blue one in a little bit. Amazing how the dots make such. Yeah, Joan, dots make all the difference in the world. Gotta have circles. Gotta have dots. Okay. I also like dots with paint, Lisa, because the dots with paint are solid. They're thick. And I don't know about the Posca pins, but those sharpening pins seem to, I don't know, they kind of leave allow the background to show through some. Okay, what am I missing? Um, Linda. Um, I didn't realize it had been 3 hours. I've been having so much fun playing. I didn't know it was 3 hours. Um, I really didn't. And I'm surprised because the last couple of times I've done a live, YouTube has kicked me off or I've got fallen off. So, and I haven't today. So, all right. I think that is it. I think that's what we're going to call good. Um, and as far as my being stronger, uh, I have a nice cushy chair. And Anne, you're wow, hi! It's your first time here, I think. Poscas are solid too. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Lisa. I thought that they were acrylic. Um, I just, it's just been a matter of fact that you can't buy them in the store here, so I'm gonna have to hunt them up and order them online, that kind of thing. Okay, I'm gonna since Linda just got here and Anna just got here, I'm gonna show you this one. I these were both jelly prints that I pulled a couple of weeks ago. Um, and I just did a little finishing up on them. I added the white flowers to this one today, and I put some Mod Podge on it I'm going to use it for covers on some traveler's notebook. And Anne, thanks for coming in. Linda, thanks for coming in. And when this one dries, when those little dots dry, I will be putting a little bit of Mod Podge on it too, to use for the same thing. So, okay, so a little bit ago, I used my paint up off the table on here, and something says I need to paint on this today. I wasn't going to paint on anything like this today, but I think I have to. Thanks, Anne. Oh, yeah. I painted faces. Mary Dale Abrams from the Mary LTA, she's doing a face challenge. And I painted some faces first. Let me show you. I can show you those because they should be dry enough to pick up. Oh, as a matter of fact, my lady might be dry enough to paint her eyes back in properly. I messed her eyes up, so. A teeny tiny jelly plate, but. Okay, Linda. Just use one color. There you go. I think jelly prints are pretty even if they're just one color. I think that's going to take a couple of layers of paint to cover up my boo-boos, so we'll just put that layer in and go on from there. Oh. But those were the two faces that I painted earlier today. Yeah, I'm going to have to order them from Amazon, Lisa. I just haven't. For starters, we've been in that kind of turmoil where we didn't know if we were going to have to leave at the last minute, and then we kind of did have to leave at the last minute. Now that I know I'll be home for at least a month, I will get them ordered. Okay, so I have this thing about black and white and red. So I am going to paint. I put this black and white paint on here, and I am going to paint some red in here, and probably some red circles. Linda, I don't always know either, although color is one of those things. I have a degree in photography, of all things, and color has always come easy for me. When I sew, I can remember the color of fabric, and go to the store without the fabric and buy fabric. But a color wheel might help if that would be something you could do. Is you can buy them. Yeah, I don't know if you could buy one at Michael's or not. But sometimes there's that option. And another thing, oh, there is a thing on the internet where you can, okay, a printed color wheel, and that would be good. There's also that the color wheel causes mayhem. There is a thing on, oh gosh, I wish I could remember what it's called. You can, Mary, do you remember? Dee Dee talks about it. They have a photograph, and then they break it out in colors. And is it colorseeds.com or something like that? I'm still here getting my swaps ready to mail. Mary, Dee Dee talks about a place where on the internet where you go and they have color. It's something like colorseeds.com or I wish I could remember. Anyways, there's a photograph, and then they break out all the colors in the photograph, and that might help, Linda, because then you could look at the colors that they have used because they definitely go together, and there's some beautiful color combinations on that particular website. And if I can find it later and can remember, maybe I better write it down. What did we say about writing stuff down? Um, let's see, color website for description. I will try to put the link to the place I'm talking about in the description later because I just cannot remember what it is. So, okay. Well, and see, I don't look at the names of the paint. I have my paints upside down in, let me show you. Let's put this up here. I'll show you. Oh, yeah. I have my paints upside down in this thing. It's like a silverware container. And I look at the color on the bottom of the paint and then I grab up what I want. Thank you, Lisa. Lisa posted, it is design seeds. Okay. It wasn't color seeds, it was design seeds. Thank you very much, Lisa. And then I just kind of look at the colors. And if Linda, if you turned your paints upside down and had one of those design, you could print out those design seed photos, one or two of them, and then you could just kind of match the photo to the. Oh, Lisa, I'm going to owe you big time then for getting rid of the troll and doing that. Um, but then you could have that printout and match your paints to the printout. This red paint, and this is apple barrel paint, so I think that means Walmart, and it's called bright red, but it sure is not very opaque. And I had some tube paint, and I don't know where the tube paint red, I think I used all the tube paint red paint up, so. Jeff Hun, do I need to get off? Okay. I just didn't know what you had going. He just said no. Thank you, Mary, too. Yeah, Linda, there was a bad troll, and I couldn't see Linda. The other Linda that's here today caught it, and I couldn't see it, and I didn't have anybody marked as moderators, and so I had to mark Mary and Lisa moderators, and we had to go get rid of the troll. It's terrible. Trolls are terrible. But Lisa stomped him. Hmm. Hmm. Well, where was I? Oh, I was in Joann's the other day and got this paint. This, no, that wasn't the. I got these, Linda. They're a little thin and they're a little watery, but they were on sale for like 69 cents, and then I had a coupon too, and it was 49 cents paint, and I got these at Joann's, and they're not bad, so maybe you could go pick out some fun colors. Um, I'm running out because I've been painting painty paper for our swaps. Guys, I'm kind of going over the red circles because I can't decide what I want to do next. I'm going to do something else to it, but I don't know what. I did want the red to be a little darker. Okay, Joan, have a great evening. I'm going to have to go here pretty soon just because I have to work tonight, so I have to get finished up. But I thought I'd finish these up, and maybe I'm going to put the I want to let that purple one dry and put the Mod Podge on it before I quit. I have a showcase on Facebook tonight, so I'll have to work. But Joan, have a great afternoon. I'm really glad you came by. Yeah, and I love red and black together, and it does give that oriental kind of thing. And I have some really neat oriental character stamps and some, oh, I could do that too. I have some other oriental stamps I could maybe put on some tissue and collage over the top. If I do, I'll save that for next weekend or for my next live anyways. But I think that I'm going to leave it there. Oh dear, Linda. Yeah, and I haven't quite figured where it's going to go, but I think, and I don't have that stuff out and ready today, but I think I'll stop with that because I do, like I said, I have some really nice character stamps, rubber stamps, and a couple other oriental kind of things that I might put into it. So, let's see what else I had on my sort of agenda kind of thing. Linda, I've been using a fair amount of it because it works great for jelly printing. Oh, you're done shopping. Oh my. My problem with Walmart is that you go in there and it just sucks you right in and you can't get out. So, yeah. Okay, these are all dry. Since the girls weren't here earlier and didn't see them, I'll just tear this little edges off like so. I don't know what I'm going to put on the next layer yet, so I'll have to think about that. Guys, I've been trying to do a live every Sunday. It seems like Sunday works best for me. Um, I know it's not a great time because it's a family day, but the evenings can sometimes be hard because I've got other things going on. And I usually don't have to work Sunday afternoons. So I'm going to keep trying to do Sundays at 1. Okay, those 4 are ready for some ephemera later on. I'll have to put the ephemera together and finish them up later. Thanks, Mary. I really appreciate that you caught me and came to in. So, Mary, really, okay. Oh, yeah, Lisa, shall I do one? I can stay long enough to do one. Mary, bye, and thank you so much for all the information. It really made it helped a lot. And like I said, I'll tag that. Lisa, I'll show you because the other girls weren't here. They're just okay. Let me find my book. No. I don't want to take that one out. So we're just gonna do one. I have some. Thanks, Mary. I really appreciate it. And they were a lot of fun. I'm gonna keep doing. I'll probably do another one next Sunday if I don't do one sooner. And thanks for coming. Anyways, guys, the tags are done. This is some it's a raspberry tea box. It's just the lid from the tea box. And I put a little paint on it because I didn't want it to show through everything. So I just used my Mod Podge because that's what I use. Okay. And I Mod Podged the the cardboard to the book page. So now the others I let dry a little bit, but this one I'll just rip off. Then I just ripped off, and like I said, it's a little easier if you let it dry a little tiny bit, just because. I just ripped off the page. Linda, I use Mod Podge. It's matte finish Mod Podge, and I buy it in a great big huge container, and then I water it down. Like for a cup and a half of Mod Podge, I put like 3 tablespoons of water in it. It's just a little thick the way it comes out of that big container. Now, a small container might not be as thick. So, you know, I just don't like the thickness of the big container. It just seems like it doesn't want to do all the things I do. And I use it for everything. I would use matte medium, but matte medium is pricey. So now see, it's kind of hanging over a little bit, and I don't care. Let's do one I didn't do yet. There's not another bird on here, is there? No, it's the same two birds. So we'll just do one of these birds. And y'all know that when you're doing a napkin, Linda, it's still dry stick with water in it. Dry stick. I don't know what dry stick means. Oh, you mean when it gets dry, are they sticky on top? And it can be, if it's in page back to back like that, it can be. You know that you have to peel off the excess backing on your napkins. Let's get this one peeled off. This one's going to have a third layer on it, I guess. Okay. And Linda, like I said, in the smaller bottles, it might be thinner. I buy it, it's like a half gallon that I buy. And I get it at Joann's, and I use a coupon so that it's cheaper because it can get pricey. Let's use these three little birds right here. Come on, don't lose your beak. Now you could cut this, and it might be a little easier on this one to cut it. But I really kind of wanted it roughed out, so. Tuesday morning, Lisa, I think. Where'd my pencil go? Okay. Because this one is kind of not got a lot of, what do we want to call this stuff? This is background to it. I'm going to put a little bit of this background green behind it, just from somewhere. Okay. And that's a really good idea. I hadn't thought about that. I've seen other people do that. It's Dawn. I think it's Dawn from Let's Make a Mess Today. Has an actual video on how to separate those so quickly. Now that one separated just really smooth. But she actually shows you with her lips. She smacks her lips together and separates it. Now that one I did not have any trouble pulling it apart, but I have had to use the lip method once or twice because that was just the only thing that worked. And Linda, these, because this has got napkin on it, they won't stick as bad as if they didn't have any napkin on them, because the napkin kind of gives it a raised texture. And I wax things in my journal. I use wax, furniture wax. There's also Daddy Vance wax that you can use. And if you wax the page after you've Mod Podged it with the wax, then it doesn't stick so bad. And that's true. It sticks, this stuff, this matte medium, it'll stick together too. Anything acrylic, anything plastic like that. And the better paint, the more artist type grade paint, they're sticky too. So I just kind of embrace the stick. Here we go. And that'll just have to dry. And when it dries, you can see right through the napkin. I love it. So yeah, Lisa, tape doesn't seem to work for me either. The lip method that Dawn showed seems to work best. If it's not going to come apart, it's just not going to come apart. So, okay, I'm going to get the Mod Podge on this so that I can get it dry and maybe I can use it later. I get at least I grabbed the tape, yeah. It's the other thing is, honestly, I think it's the napkin and the cheaper the napkin, sometimes the harder they are to take apart. I think it's the cheaper paper, maybe. Oh dear. I am not pleased with myself. Okay, guys, I'm not going to do that. I just smudged all my paint. Huh, it's not the paint. It's the Uniball pen that's smudged. Shoot. Well, I'm going to have to finish it then because that's dry. So let's just get it on real light. And we'll just have to embrace that too. I've never had, of course, I guess maybe I haven't painted over the top of that. I don't know. I don't remember it doing that before. So. And all I was doing was, all I'm doing here is just putting a protective layer over the top of this for my things that I plan on doing. Covers. Okay, guys, I need to go. Oh, Linda, I smudged some of the dots I put in there with the signal pen. I thought that thing was permanent. I've never had them smudged like that before. It's pigment ink, and usually it's permanent, but it either must not have been dry enough or something. But I've smudged it, so not a big deal. It'll be fine when it dries, and I just couldn't wipe across it as well. Oh, Lisa, you remember a few weeks ago I painted envelopes. I made some traveler's notebooks. As a matter of fact, I can show you one because it's sitting right. Well, it was sitting right there. What did I do with it? Well, that's good. Oh, there it is. Let me put that down here. I'll show you. Putting matte medium on gel plate and then putting page on that to seal. That would work real well. Let me cover this back up because the fan's on and it'll dry. Yeah, because that'd put a single layer and then you wouldn't have anything squish out. This, Lisa, these are my traveler's notebooks and that's one I did in my live, 2-3 weeks ago. It's not jelly plated, and I covered it with a single layer of Mod Podge, just so that I could have just a cover that didn't get all messed up. And these are painty junk mail envelopes that I made in that live, or one of the lives. I've made notebooks like this before, and I actually have a tutorial on how I did it. But this was specifically for me, for something I wanted to keep my lists in my book. So that's what I want to use those 2 sheets to make 2 covers for these 2 extra painty envelope. I have 2 packages of painty envelopes ready to go, and I wanted to get the covers done so that I can take that off my list of things I haven't done yet. So thanks, Miss. Thanks, Lisa. Anyways, guys, I'm going to go because, like I said, I've got to work tonight, and I need to probably get my act together. I did most everything I needed to do. Lisa, you've seen the tutorial then. Yeah, I did tutorials on these file folders. I love this file folder thing. I've been toting this around for a while. This was the first one I made. So my first video was in January, so I probably made this one in December, and I tote this with me. So thanks, Miss. I don't know who else is here. I know Lisa's here. I don't know if Mark's still here, but I know Joan and Mary had to go, so don't know. And both Lindas were still here. And Linda Scott, I'm sorry that I have to go when you just got here. I'm going to try to stream as often as I can on Sundays at 1. And Lisa, this notebook is in parts. And the first one, the cover is the same, except there's a little bit of different measurements. And then so it shows parts, and I actually put sewn in inserts in the first one. Then there's a second little tutorial on how to punch it and do it for the traveler's notebooks. So if you have trouble finding it, just let me know and I'll show you. Anyways, guys, thanks, and I'm gonna run, and because I'm gonna have to. I have still some photographs to take, and I have a bunch of editing to do before I can work tonight. So, guys, thanks for coming. I really appreciate it. I really, 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 really appreciate it. You guys have a great afternoon and evening, and we'll see you next week, if not sooner. Oh, and I've got a couple videos too that should be up this week. I hope. So, bye, guys. Thanks, Anne. Bye, whoever else is here.